Is it this? Or is it this? Hey, welcome to the Ozzstar Cars channel. I'm Baba Booey to y'all. Today's fun project. We're going to talk about a sound or an abnormal noise in your car as you're driving down the road. Maybe you're hearing a thumping or a howling kind of sound, or like a whoop, 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 whoop kind of sound going down the road. And a lot of people get confused is it a wheel bearing or is it a tire? Now it can be some other things there. You could have something going on with your differential or maybe something in the transmission. Most times it's going to be a wheel bearing or a tire, and the tricky part is just diagnosing that problem. So going down the road, this car has a really annoying noise. That's all I can put it to you. It's not normal. I can hear it when I'm driving in the back, in the rear, as opposed to the front. And some things you want to consider is I've got this one jacked up already because I found the problem, and I'm going to show you in here in just a second. But first thing you want to do is just check the overall condition of your tires. And actually the best way to do that is not just to stand back and get down low and look at them, but actually feel the tire itself. So you want to take your hand and just go along the tread here. Okay, now when I run my hand and you can't see it, that's the problem. That's why it's good to feel it. On the very inside of the tire back here, I can feel cupping, or you might call it, some people call it, it's chopped. It's a cupping kind of setup, and it goes like this, the tread. And I'm gonna show you how to check that off the car. I'll do that in a second. But the first thing you wanna check is just to make sure that it's not a bearing. So once the tire and wheel's off the ground, you can spin it. Now, if you have a front wheel drive vehicle and you don't have both wheels off the ground, you may have to put it in neutral. Just make sure that you properly, jack that up and be safe. Anyhow, we're on an all-wheel drive vehicle, and this is the rear, or left rear, I should say, and it has an electric coupler for the rear diff, so it's not locked up. But anyway, here's what we do. So it's really simple. Grab it at the 12, grab the tire at the 12 and the 6 down here, and I'm pushing it like this, okay? I'm trying to rock it forward. So no play. Grab it, I like to grab it here at the 9 and the 3 position, and then I'm pushing this way, right? Very simple, in and out. I'm giving it lots of pressure. There's no wobble, okay? So if you're hearing a wobble, right away you want to suspect a wheel bearing. Now there's all different types of wheel bearing setups. This one's a hub right here, and if you well, let's skip that for 1 second. If you feel a wobble, you're feeling play like this, where this hub is moving this way, like back and forth. This one actually has a little bit. Okay, it's not good. Now the other way, and simply, once the wheel's free, just spin it. Now, once in a while you may hear a brake pad kind of touching the rotor a little bit. Don't get that confused with abnormal noise. Okay, this one, spin it both ways. We're listening, and I don't hear anything crazy, okay? You could feel vibration on these things sometimes. So when they're really bad, let me see if I can make this one was bad. This was out of a Subaru. Let's see if we can hear it. Sometimes when you spin it just right, hear that? Hopefully it picked up. But that's bad, okay? That's a bad bearing. That can be a major source of the abnormal noise. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to pop this wheel off here, this tire, and I'm going to show you that cupping that we just talked about. So to show you guys exactly what's going on here, I got a piece of this rubber hose, just some like heater hose I laid up here. I figured this was the best way for me to demonstrate it. And you can see it's conforming to the tire, okay? When I put the light back here, behind it, I should say, you're not, if you see any light coming through, I'm gonna try not to blind you guys. Wow, that's tough. All right, right there. So, there's the tread, the depth of the tread grooves where light's coming through. That's normal, but you can see the amount. Now let's put it on this back row, and sorry, I'm trying to hold the camera kind of steady, and then hopefully we can see the high spots here. So now look at all the light coming through. Okay, so that's on the back. That's a major difference. And you can see like here and here where the tire is the same height as our other treads. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, there's no light coming through there. Okay, let's move this up one row and I'll show you. Right here, look at the difference. There, put that right to the toolbox. So, no major light coming through. Here we can see it. I hope that demonstrates my point. So now, just rolling this on the floor here, you know, rolling it from the car over to the box where I'm filming, I could hear the noise. So listen to this. I'm just gonna roll this back and forth on the cement and lean it back like on that spot, and let's see if you can hear the noise. It almost sounds like a basketball dribbling. Listen. That's how bad this is. Okay, now I'm gonna roll it on the front part of this tire, on the good side, the outside part, and listen. Smooth, right? Let's roll it on that back edge one more time. Okay, so we definitely have a smoking gun here as far as diagnosing this noise. We didn't feel anything in the bearing. We see that there's a lot of cupping going on there. I rolled it, you could hear the noise just here. Can you imagine going down the road, especially at higher speeds, how loud it would be? What I did was, since I only found one bad tire back there, and I heard the noise was in the back, it wasn't coming from the front, I took the spare tire out of the car, which is good, and swapped this bad tire out, and then took a ride. I filmed both of them with the old tire and the spare tire, the good tire, and had a decibel reading. Now the good tire, we'll call it the spare tire, was only a little bit quieter in the cabin than the bad tire, but I could tell you what, even though it was only a few decibels, when you're driving along and that thing's humming, it seemed a lot louder. I'll put it to you that way. So I took some video of that. Let me throw that in right here. You guys check it out. So you can see I replaced the left rear with the spare tire, which is fine. There's no problem with that tread. Now I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to have Ryan, my helper. He's going to be my Uber driver, and I've got a decimal meter here, and I want to get a decibel reading while we go down the highway. All right, take it up to 55. Call it out when you get there, and we'll see what the decibel reading is. Good?
Yep. We're at 55 now.
Can't hear you.
55.
Okay. So it looks like we're about 68 decibels. All right, got my driver, got the bad defective tire on here, wheel, and I'm gonna get in the car. We're gonna go back down the road and we'll try the same experiment. So you all set, Ryan?
Yep.
Let's try it again. All right, make this turn and go ahead and take it up to like 55, 60. Not like a race car, dude. I'm trying to hold a camera. Holy crap. Let me know when you get up to speed.
I'm at 55.
55?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. All right.
Okay, so it's about 71, 72. All right, that was fun being chauffeured around by my Uber driver son. Anyhow, he's not really an Uber driver, but he's mine. So anyway, what was I going to tell you? So the way to vary now, if you had a bad bearing, it would probably be howling a lot harder, and they usually come on around, I'd say 30 miles an hour, 25, 35 miles per hour. Those bearings really start singing, and then they get just louder and louder and louder until they just get really ugly. In the front, what you can do, if you hear noise in the front, abnormal noise, and your tires seem smooth and okay, try turning left and right on a straight road when you're all by yourself at about 30 or 40 miles an hour. And if you're turning left and right and you hear the noise kind of come and go, you'll know what I mean if you've got one of these. Let's say you have a problem in the right front. Well, when you turn left,
the right front wheel bearing will get louder.
I hope that helps you out with that. Now, my plan is with this one, I've got a replacement tire right here through the magic of YouTube. Same type of tire, same tread depth. Now why and how did I do that? Well, if you watch my video, my past video, I think I put it out last year, on why it's so important that all-wheel drive vehicles get the same tread depth tires because of the circumference, the diameter there. You need to make sure, because the powertrain can get damaged, because there are clutch packs and stuff in there that need to slip at the right time. And if you have one size that's too big and the other three are, let's say, 9 30 seconds, and this worn out, you put a used one on there 5 30 seconds, you're gonna have a problem. Eventually it'll wear out. Okay, the computer doesn't like seeing that. Just check that video out and you'll get more information if you want to. So anyhow, I went online, I measured wherever my tire tread depth gauge went. These tires still had about 6 30 seconds, which is a good amount of meat. I found a used one. I was lucky. So I found one the same type, same size, all that good stuff, same brand. And I'm gonna have that one mounted and balanced and put it back on the car, and hopefully everything should be well. So I'll let you guys know at the end of the video. Well, by chance I got a Subaru that came in and has a rear noise complaint. So this one, let me take you back here. Obviously I already got the wheel off, but let me show you here, spinning on this left rear. Now don't get this confused. There can be a noise where you have these internal brake shoes on your rotors. So what I did was, as you can see, I took the caliper off, took the pads out, pulled the rotor, and now I can just spin the drive shaft, the axle shaft right here. And when I do, hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I can feel it more than anything. I feel it, it's kind of rough. It's not smooth when I spin. Now listen. Hopefully you guys can hear that. It's like a grinding and metallic kind of noise in there. Is it the bearing or is it your tires? Now it's funny, by coincidence, this car has the same exact brand of tire and model, the Continental True Contacts, as the Santa Fe. But this one, the treads, let's see if I can get a shot here, all the way across is fairly smooth. They're getting low, but they're smooth. There's not that choppy action going on. Let me spin the wheel here. I put it back on so you guys can hear it. It's pretty noisy. Alrighty, so back from a test drive after getting the used tire mounted and balanced. Everything's nice and normal now. No abnormal crazy noises. Will make the next field trip much more enjoyable, let's put it that way. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it, but that edge of that tire, the bad one, was cupped all the way around. It wasn't just in one spot. So was it a bad belt? Is there a misalignment? Is it out of balance for too long? I'm not sure. I don't really know. The other tires don't have that issue, so it's kind of tricky to figure out 40,000 miles later what's gone wrong. Did it hit something? Maybe that part of the tire impacted something hard. Not sure. All I can tell you is it's fixed, and I hope this video helped you out trying to diagnose whether you have a bad tire or a bad bearing. So don't forget to check out my other automotive repair videos right here on YouTube. Leave me questions and comments right there down below. I appreciate your time stopping by, and that's about it. So take it easy.